Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this August 3rd, 2024. It's being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated, also brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. The week ahead offers some hopes that some needed rain will be coming. It's not going to be quite as hot, still plenty warm, but it's not going to be quite as hot as the past week, and we're going to see some cooler weather, especially east of the Rockies by the middle to the end of next week. And there is some hope for rain. Rain chances are looking better across the west over the next 2 weeks, and we'll show you why. Most of the real hot weather will be confined to areas along and west of the divide over the next 7 to 10 days or so. Now, in the last week, most of the rain that you have seen falling in the west here actually fell late last week and last weekend. Rain has been pretty skimpy in these areas here over the last 7 days, while there has been a little bit of shower and thunderstorm over southern Colorado, New Mexico, and parts of Arizona. Underneath the dome of high pressure, very dry across portions of the southern plains for the most part, while it continues to be wet in the Corn Belt and areas of the Midwest. Very dry, and we know with the fire situation in California and the far western areas of the United States, the dryness certainly a concern. And you can see the soil moisture profile still shows the expanding area of dryness over eastern and central and northwestern areas of Montana, eastern Wyoming, the western side of the Dakotas, and far western Nebraska, northeastern Colorado. Rains down here have continued to help soil moisture conditions in the southwestern United States. The latest drought monitor shows this area of dryness growing, but there is some hope, some help on the way. There's some help on the way for these dry areas here as well, and we'll show you that here in a moment. High pressure is dominating as we start the forecast period. As we roll into this weekend, this high pressure ridge will be strong, keeping temperatures hot, but the clockwise flow that goes around these high pressure systems is going to bring in Gulf of Mexico moisture into Mexico and the southwestern United States. And by the end of the weekend, by Sunday, the high pressure ridge weakens. This allows more moisture in, slightly cooler temperatures, and this will get thunderstorm activity going again in the west. And by late next week, by next Thursday, we have a stronger low pressure system over southwestern Canada pushing into the northern tier of the U.S. This is what's going to lead to some cooler weather in the northern Rockies, the northern plains, and the Pacific Northwest, then eventually spilling into the Midwest, while the heat will be more confined to this part of the nation here. But moisture will be able to get access out of the Gulf into the western United States, and that's going to keep the showers and thunderstorms going. And we talked about cooler weather next week. Well, by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, cooler air is going to spill east of the divide. So while it will stay very warm west of the divide, it is going to cool off east of the divide. Montana, the Dakotas in particular, the parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, and even getting into eastern Colorado by the second half of next week and into western Kansas. So there is some relief from the heat coming. Temperature-wise, over the last week, it's looked like this, but we'll see this area right here, see the temperature ranges that are likely going to cool off the most. Now, if we look at the forecast for rain, what I'm showing you here is a good way to measure how much water there's going to be in the air. Wherever you see white or green, the chances of showers and thunderstorms will be better, improving, especially the darker green and blue areas. What we're showing you here is that during the course of this upcoming weekend into next week, you can see a lot of the western United States has got quite a bit of blue and green. Now at times some brown where the air is drier, but more often than not, this is going to lead to better opportunities for shower and thunderstorm activity, and we can see that in the forecast. So some of the dry areas of western South Dakota, eastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, eastern Colorado, areas that could really use some rain, well, you've got some better chances. Parts of Montana as well. Now, I do think areas in western Wyoming, western Colorado, and Utah will also have a better chance than the model is showing here, but the better chances of rain could actually be where they need it the most, as subtropical moisture comes on in. And then if we look at temperatures, there's the coolness coming along in east of the divide, warmest west of the divide over the next 7 days. Our next update will be August 10th. Have a good week ahead, everybody.